All right, we are live. This is the PodBrother. Welcome. I'm in Hollywood. Some people know it as Hollyweird. And there's some weird people out there, but I'm not with weird people today because I am living life on top of the Hollywood Hills. I'm at Nick's place, got a beautiful pool. We had burgers. We had apple sausages and New York Nathan hot dogs and burgers. And I'm with beautiful company. I have with me today, actually this on an official capacity is our first annual convention meeting where we're meeting with Jody, the president of SIA, who you'll meet here in a second, Nick Gaglia, who is a survivor filmmaker / moderator of our panel, and our newcomer to the team, Jackie Newman, is going to be here. She's a writer, and we got a kick-ass team this year, and we just cool people hanging out in Hollywood. So what can I say? All right. So I'm gonna just have everybody introduce themselves as we go around the table here, starting from right to left, left to right on their screen. On our screen is right to left, but here is left to right, right to left.
Hey everyone, my name is Jackie.
Hey, Nick Gaglia, filmmaker, survivor, activist.
And I'm Jody, president of SIA.
Okay. So we didn't even go to that camera. I was on the GoPro the whole time.
Oh.
So.
Oh, whoopsie.
All right.
But it's all good. It's all fun. So basically, we're here to discuss our SIA convention and talk about basically what we want to do next year. So, Jody, why don't you kind of, as our fearless leader, kick off what it is that we're actually trying to do next year?
So next year, 2015, we're going to have the SIA convention here in Los Angeles, and the theme of the convention is Celebrate Survivors. So it's all about having fun and celebrating each other and reaching out and spreading that awareness. And our big day, oh, you want me to hold my camera here? Hold on, I can't do both here.
Sure, I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Oh, okay, you're gonna. Okay. And so we're going to have our big day be Saturday, and then we're just going to have a whole heck of a lot of fun on Friday and Sunday. And so we want you to come out and. We want you to come out and celebrate with us, and we decided it's going to be in April this year, and we'll give specific dates, and we'll give you on the website, which is sia-convention.org, here shortly in the next coming months. So we're really excited about what's going to happen.
Sweet. So Nick, how are you feeling about this year? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Just hold it there, because I'm switching back and forth. So.
Okay, I'm just going to put it right here.
But you have to face you, though, so we can see you. All right, Nick.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this year because what's different than all the other years is the emphasis is on fun. It's on having fun.
Yeah.
And making it just a really happy, joyous experience. On the Saturday, there's going to be a 4-hour panel where we're going to be raising awareness, talking about the topic. That'll be heavy, that'll be emotional, that'll be informative, and absolutely necessary. But on either end of that, it's just the emphasis is going to be on having a good time. Experiencing LA for people who haven't visited here before, people who have visited here or who live here, perhaps just sharing a fun time with a group of people. That's where Jody's headed.
I liked your idea in the meeting about making it just super fun this year, and because it's been so deep and so heavy and such an emotional drain to revisit all of those experiences and all the people who died, and it's just so dark and heavy. I kind of like your idea in, okay, let's just have one day where it's like heavy for a few hours, and then the rest of the time it's just like fun.
Well, I think it's important to to the survivor community to know that there is a way to really move forward, move beyond, and have fun, and celebrate life, and have happiness in your life. And so, I really that's why the theme is Celebrate Survivors, because even though you've gone through something hard and horrible, you can still overcome and succeed and achieve. And so that's why I Celebrate Survivors. So that's where my head is at when I came to. And of course, solidifying with you guys that Celebrate Survivors, we need to do that, and we need to do that in each other's lives, supporting and uplifting each other as survivors. But I think it's going to be a really fun year.
And I'm out here 8 months out of the year, and there's a reason for it, because I have such a great time out here, and I would love to share that with everybody.
Yeah.
I know this is a really cool place to live and cool place to work. Hanging out poolside with the Los Angeles skyline in the background and a little Cessna plane waving at us way back. Jackie.
Yes.
Our new member to the team. How did you find us, by the way? How did you find us?
I found you guys through my cousin, who is also a survivor. And when I moved back to California, which was 2 months ago, my cousin had given me Jody's number, and I really wanted to help out because it's a really great cause. And I think it's wonderful to get survivors together and give them a voice. And Jody's done that.
Well, SIA's done that, so I'm really excited about where we've been and where we're going to. So we have a lot of really cool things planned for the future. And be looking to the website, sia-now.org, to find some upcoming updates. Jackie is a brilliant writer, and she has agreed to do our newsletter, and we have not had a newsletter, so she's agreed to take that on, and we're really super excited about that. So be looking for that.
Informed. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a lot of fun. So let's talk about a little bit what we got going on personally or professionally. Jackie, I know we had mentioned that you are a writer. Tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that you've done and some of the things that you'd like to do in case there's somebody out there that is watching.
Well, my passion is within the horror genre, so anybody looking to hire me for that, that'd be amazing. Anything within the horror genre really interests me. I love to write. I love to tell scary stories and kind of twist it and make my own. I also have done other things. I worked for Paramount Pictures for a little bit. I worked at Morgan Freeman's production company. So I've done side jobs here and there, but I'm still looking to find my way. So it's just kind of doing what I have to until that big opportunity comes. But I'm grateful to be here in California.
Where did you go to school? Where did you learn your writing?
I went
craft?
to California State University, Fullerton. I graduated in 2012 with my degree from there, particularly in screenwriting, and I also graduated from the honors program.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nick, my brother.
What's up?
A couple successful films under your belt, and I know you're working on a project. What's the next thing you got? I know you can't go too deep into details, but what's your next project?
I'm working on my next screenplay. I've been officially working on it for the past year, but it's something I've been trying to figure out or trying to work out for many, many years now. And when I'm working on a new idea, before I could say, okay, now it's time to actually write a feature film, I need to find what I call the Rosetta Stone. It's this one detail. It could be a character, it could be a line of dialogue, it could be a visual, it could be any number of things. But when I find that one thing that is a hint for a greater world, there's an actual story that could be told here, and that's the thing that anchors it, then I dive right in. I work on the thing every day. I don't have writer's block. It's not like I don't get to the page and I'm like, what am I going to write now? The ideas for this thing, because I found that Rosetta Stone, are just flooding in. Even though the ideas are there, and I'm working on it every day. I'm not in a rush to finish it. I'm in a rush to get it right. So if that thing takes me another 2 years to finish, or if I wind up finishing it in a month and a half, who knows? But if I had taking the quote, if I had 12 hours to cut down a tree. I'd spend the first 10 sharpening my blade. And by me, taking my time and doing my due diligence with this is me sharpening my blade. And just so you all know, it's going to be my definitive film on the topic of institutional child abuse. It's going to incorporate before the program, during the program, decades after the program, all anchored in a narrative. So it's not a documentary, it's not a docudrama. It's very fictional. It's incorporating my experiences, but it's not based on me at all. Everything I do, even if I was writing a sci-fi film, I'm putting myself into. So it's incorporating my experiences, but it's also incorporating everything I've learned about this topic, everything I've learned about myself personally, all the research I've done, all the different types of programs, repetition, compulsion, PTSD. It's all going mind control, ideological totalitarianism. It's all going to be in there, and it's going to be in there though. It's going to be told in a very entertaining manner. And you might ask, how am I going to make a film like this, a very heavy film like this, entertaining? And I'm using the model of great films like Papillon, The Great Escape, Stalag 17, Shawshank Redemption. You know, these films where someone is trapped in some sort of prison or institution and is trying to escape. There's built-in suspense, built-in tension. Even in bad movies where they implement it, it's still entertaining. It still works. So that's one thing I'm doing. Another thing I'm doing is, if you look at a film like Cuckoo's Nest, the deep, dark drama, but you're laughing the whole way through because they're able to extract the humor within the drama, which makes it very entertaining. And there's going to be an element of great inspiration at the end, great hope. So that's what I'm working on, Steve.
That sounds good, man. I can't wait to see how it looks in the end.
Thank you.
And that's going to be a lot of cool stuff. So why don't we give that phone to Jackie? And Jackie, why don't you point it at Jody so Jody can kind of focus a little bit. You know what? If you switch the camera, you can see what you're shooting. Nice. There we go. Oh, that's a beautiful picture. Hey, Jody, you look Hollywood.
All right. Yeah, you do. Nice green background. Your glasses.
So,
the pool and the reflection.
Jody, tell us about, a little bit about what you're doing now and what your plans are. I mean, earlier in the meeting, you kind of talked about maybe even, I don't know, co-producing a film about the history of institutional abuse. Was that just something that you were just thinking out loud, or, I think maybe you should think about something like that.
Well, I think what's fascinated me is, as a survivor, I want to know where this mentality, this modality of behavioral modification, mind modification, where it comes from, and kind of the history of us treating our children poorly, and I'm meaning us, meaning society. And so I've really researched it pretty extensively, and it goes back for centuries, and then it kind of spreads off into a spider web. And I would really love, to work on a project where you could show how just the mindset of the person who goes in there and starts to run it, how they have the purest of intentions, but somehow it ends up going wrong, and so often that is the case, and how this type of therapy, I'm a survivor, 20 years out, and I still have problems and nightmares and deal with depression, and so many of us are in that way, and so it's not something that is a fix for troubled teenagers, but it more is a hindrance, and it scars us for the rest of our lives. And if somebody were to document that, kind of like how Nick is doing in the way that he's making his movie, I think there would be less and less of these places open. So I would really enjoy something like that, just to show the historical background and where it actually came from.
How do you think doing films that Nick does, and possibly this documentary film, can, you know, the part that it would play in getting some bills passed and some legislation on the table for making institutions accountable for who they hire, what they do, their programs, the whole nine?
Well, I think when survivors tell their experience of what happened to them, a lot of times what happens is people individualize it, and it's not a group. And also, it's very hard for the survivor to describe and explain. And so seeing it in color on the screen, really, if the person who is making the movies, like Nick, has portrayed it correctly, you can see what happens to a person that goes through something like that. And so it creates that picture in someone's mind that might be there to pass that bill or make regulation happen, that they might think twice about it and say, hey, yeah, that we really need this regulation out there. So I think any way that we can raise awareness, we must do it. And like on our website, we have a testimonial page, sia-now.org, and where you as a survivor can share your experience. And just speaking out and telling your own story raises that awareness, and it will change the dynamic and the culture and not allow this industry to do what it's doing right now, which is abusing children. So
now, the films that have come out recently that I think are excellent tools for what you're talking about, Steve. One is Kidnap for Christ, which just premiere. It's been doing the festival rounds. Played at the SIA convention last year, and it was premiered on Showtime a couple weeks ago. I think it's playing regularly on Showtime.
Yeah.
The official Showtime documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to get a little more into the topic with that?
Well, so Kate Logan made a documentary called Kidnap for Christ, and she went to a facility that's in the Dominican Republic.
She had unprecedented access.
Because she was a Christian and she was in film school, and they they thought, what we're doing is right and good, and let her view this. And really, I think just this naivety of this will be great marketing, for the place. And so she was able to get in there and videotape some things, and Oh, one died.
Well, we have the GoPro.
Okay.
Yep, we got the GoPro.
Okay, so she was able to videotape, and she went on a journey with 3 individuals from this facility, and she basically documented what these individuals went through. And she was very brilliant in what she did, because she followed somebody named David, who the only reason why he was sent to that facility was, he had a 4.0 GPA. He was, a great student, a great kid, no problems at home. The only reason why he got sent to the facility is because he was gay. And his parents sent him to go there to, I guess, pray the gay away. I'm not sure what their reasoning was behind it. And then she also documented another girl there who was she was kind of a rebellious teen. She had gotten into some trouble, but not too much. And she had some trouble at home, but it wasn't she wasn't strung out on drugs or anything like that. And then she followed somebody who definitely had some mental issues, anxiety and depression, and she the person who had the mental issues she didn't have any kind of counseling or a licensed therapist or somebody that could help her through these emotional issues. And so she was able to document these three in their process through going through something like this, an experience like this, and the abuse that goes on. And then later on in her film, she talks about the industry and how many facilities are there open and how it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and about how there's no regulation or oversight. And then it goes into our very first, we are part of the documentary. She asked me if she could videotape at the SIA convention, the very first convention that we did, and bring David. And so she did that, and she videotaped the convention experience, and she got some interviews from some people at the convention, and she just kind of documented the healing that goes on when survivors get together, and some survivor testimonies, and so she put all of that together in this documentary, and it's very powerful, and we were just so honored and happy to be a part of it. And it's airing on Showtime all this month, and it is, check the website, which is kidnapforchrist.com, and you can see if it's playing in your area, because it's playing all kinds of festivals out there.
Second film, which is coming out theatrically in the U.S. mid-August, is Cold Water by Vincent Grashaw.
Mm-hmm.
And would you like to talk about that a little?
We, I think it was through you, met up with Vincent.
Yeah, he told, when I met him, he reached out to me a few years ago before he made the film.
Yeah.
And he saw my film over the GW and was
Mm-hmm.
like, I've been wanting to do, I've been trying to get a film off the ground for the past 10 years on, these wilderness camp for troubled teens that are very abusive, violent, kids are dying there, and I want to do a narrative feature based on that topic.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, he made an excellent film called Cold Water,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about just that.
Yeah, so we were honored to be able to screen Cold Water at the convention in Washington, D.C., and it was so moving and emotional. I had to get up and leave because it hit very close to home for me.
Moving and emotional. It was also extremely entertaining. What I was talking about before, there was there was a very you were on the way to take this topic and do something, make it in a crowd-pleasing way.
Yes, you were on the edge of your seat a lot of the time. I mean, it was just a very powerful movie. And
the finale, we won't tell you what happens because we don't want to spoil anything. But sure to shock.
Yes, sure to shock for sure.
Some other films are Self-Medicated, which was based on Wasp by Monty LaPica, who he directed, wrote, starred in it, and also went through Wasp. Excellent film. I'm sure you can find it. I believe you can find it on Netflix now.
We also have a link to it on SIA-convention.org if you're interested.
Am I leaving any out?
Well, I actually have on the SIA-convention.org website, there is a resource page that lists all the movies that are out there and books. So if you're looking to research the issue or just want to find out more, you can go to SIA-convention.org, or you can go to SIA-now.org.
My sister wrote a novel called Run, based on her experience running away from kids where we were placed in. I was there 2.5 years. Thank you. She was there for a year. It's I say it's a novel because it's a fictionalized retelling of her experience, and I remember my first time picking up the book after she had a full draft down. I remember opening up, and there's no forward or preface or prologue. It's just first page, breathe. She jumps right into it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I couldn't put it down. I read it. I read it in one night. So
really,
one night.
Me too. Yeah, it's just
a
page turner.
Yeah, I couldn't put it down, and I was just, I couldn't wait to turn the next page. It was like she just told the story in such a way that I was like her cheerleader, and I wanted so much for her to be okay. And It was an amazing, amazing book.
And we have Help at Any Cost by Maya Salovitz, who's just an authority on the topic.
She's no joke.
Well, and that book has been called the Bible of the troubled teen industry because
I would tend to agree with that.
Because before that time, nobody had really documented all of these cases and what went on in these facilities, and she really put it together in such a way that you can follow the trail. Like I was telling you, the historical kind of documentation.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. When I read that book, I was, so on fire to change the world. Yeah, and the stories that she tells of the what went on behind closed doors in these facilities will take your breath away. So if you have not read that book, I recommend highly that you get it and read it.
Yeah, that's where I first found out about Aaron Bacon, and then I made a film. I didn't, after Over the GW, I didn't want to make another film on the topic back to back, but when I read this story about Aaron, who was placed in North Star, and after 30 days he died because of the abuse. I couldn't get the story out of my head, and I was like, let me just write it out, just to get it out of my head. And after I wrote it out, I'm like, I have to make this thing. I just felt so compelled, and then it took 9 months to get that thing off the ground, to get the rights, to get the funding, and it all kind of happened at the same time.
Well, we're going to tie this bad boy up, but before we leave, I want to make sure that everybody has kind of a call to action. So let's start with you, Jackie, and let us know where we can reach you, and actually lean into the camera this way a little bit so we can see you.
Okay, so you can reach me by email at jackie.nyman@gmail.com.
And your blog. Tell about your blog.
Yeah. I also have a website blog. That's kind of been my passion project since I've gotten back to California. It kind of tells my struggle through the film industry. So anybody that's trying to break in, definitely check it out. Let me know what you think. It's just advice that I've been given along the way, or thoughts or feelings that I've had. So it's resilientstateofmind.com, and check it out if you can. Thanks.
And everyone could check out my website, nickgaglia.com, to find out everything and anything about me, my films, what I'm up to, what I'm working on next. If you need to reach out, I have contact there as well.
Jody?
You can reach me by going to sia-now.org, or learn more about the convention by going to sia-convention.org. And all my contact information, email, phone number, we have a 1-800 number, so you can definitely call in if you need to.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, what's your go-to?
Well, hold on. Let me put the camera on me so you see who I am. I got too many hands going here. Not enough hands. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Okay.
I wanted to get that skyline, but my cables here are all messed up. But anyway, you can get me at podbrother.com is where you can find me. All things funny, all things cool, and what can I say? So, having said that, we're going to sign off. You are watching, what is this? Is this SIA Now TV? What do we want to call this? This is kind of what, we just did this spontaneous hanging out by the pool after our meeting.
Fun.
What do you want to call this?
I don't know.
SIA Now TV?
SIA Now TV.
Sounds good to me.
All right. You've been watching.
SIA Nation.
You've been watching SIA Nation TV, baby. And now it's time to go have some brewskis. All right. So one last time, Jody, where can we find you on the web?
sia-now.org or sia-convention.org, or you can find us on Facebook. Just search SIA Organization, or we're on Twitter at SIA Organization.
Sweet. All right. So now that we're signing off and we got this thing work, I want to get a shot of this skyline while we can. All right. Peace, everybody. We're out.